All right, let's go live, everybody. It's Tuesday. Tuesday means toys. Give it a second here, let some people filter in. But good morning and good day to anybody who is here or coming in, listening, lurking. I'm a big fan of the spaceships. Hey, Erdensk, welcome. So I talked about these a couple months ago. So these are called Snap Ships. They're made by a company that's mainly known for board games for families, family-friendly board games, called PlayMonster. So these are constructible spaceships. You can see a little bit here. They're these central cubic parts, and then you add in all these things around it. So there's a suggested way of building. You get instructions on how to build a standard mode and then some other versions, but then you can mix and match all the parts and do, whatever you want with them. I reviewed these two ships, like I said, a couple months ago when the line first came out. These are the bad guy, the complex. These are the heroic, the forge. Each one there's always an opening cockpit. You get a little pilot figure, at least one pilot figure. He is in there. Hello, Rubin Wombat. In addition to the toys just being really neat. I mean, yeah, they're a little blocky just because they're, you actually build them yourself, but based on these, like I said, they're these main cube parts in the middle. But the designs are they're actually really good. I'm endlessly impressed by this line. Toys are really fun to build, fun to play with. And there's a really, really great app for this that has a bunch of augmented reality stuff. So you load up one of these ships and it gives you a huge hangar's worth of ships. And the app shows you how to build them. So if you lose your instructions, or if you buy a whole bunch of these things and you just have a bunch of pieces, the app shows you step by step how to build the standard ships, and then ships that the app just introduces you to, even versions that use multiple kits. So the app shows you how to do all that, and then you actually can bring up a 3D version of the ship in augmented reality, look at all of its special parts, move it around, shoot at things, and it actually has animation that sort of figures out surfaces in your camera's view and will have things explode against the wall and stuff like that. And then you can sort of play a little game where you fly the ship and shoot at stuff. But that game is not super great. But yeah, they clearly put a lot of thought and time into these, and it is pretty impressive. I read a little bit of behind the scenes that it was a couple of guys who designed this line, and they were just huge spaceship nerds, like a lot of us are, and we're like, how can we do a really cool, interesting thing, but also make it fun for kids? So yeah, so these were the two ships that I reviewed a couple months ago, and then I just had a review go up on figures.com yesterday. They sent me a couple more, so this is the smallest of the heroic ships. Again, a classic starfighter design. They did some cool stuff though. So each ship comes with a special piece of technology that usually it has a launching part, or this yellow color. So I don't know, I forget what this one is specifically, but it can plug in right there. Again, you can build these any way you want, but this one is a cool feature. So if you hold the front part, it rotates, which is neat. So sort of it's like a B-wing, or there have been lots of rotating spaceships over the years. Makes it a little bit tough to put it on a display stand when you've got a big part that rotates, but definitely fun to play with. And just go whee. Yeah, so these are Snap Ships, SNAP ships, by Like I said, they're pretty much a game company called PlayMonster, games for little kids. But these are great, and you can see obviously on this one, you can see how the cube system works. Some are cubes, some of them have alternate shapes, and there's a really neat thing. It's always hard to explain in my reviews, but if you look at how the pieces interact with each other, you can see that it's not just a square, it's two squares offset. So you can have a piece, oh, it's like this one here. So you can see how this, basically like this engine pod is, how do I explain it? It's not at the same orientation as the rest of the ship. Otherwise it would look like, that. But you can attach these things at an angle instead to give it, to really offset the parts. It like I said, it's it's hard to explain, but that gives you, again, more options. This one obviously has just a rotating connector there, so it can spin, move. So yeah, so that's the Lancer, and then I got another these. Well, this one's pretty rad. I like this one. Obviously, these guys are more insectile and lots of blades and things. This one, it has a little closing feature for the whatever this piece of tech is called. And again, all of them have opening cockpits, little figures inside. And then what I was really excited about, the latest addition to the line is this bad boy. It's I don't really have enough room to show it off, but this is the Trident Gun Ship. Oh, and they also all come with little projectile launchers if you want to use those. They're colorful. They're kind of kiddie, so I don't have any of those on. But this thing is rad. Just lots of details, lots of little guns. This one has a big chunky alien pilot. Where is he? Like a rock guy. And secondary cockpits with more. This one actually came with 3 pilots, which is neat. Rotating hover engines. There's actually a working winch. Oh, I use on a different build. But yeah, you can see how the build works. This one also came with, if you build it this way, like these little drones that pop off and have their own little weapons platforms. Yeah. I first saw these at Toy Fair at the beginning of the year, and then I let them know. I was like, hey, if you want somebody to review these who loves spaceships, let me know. And yeah, they've been really nice. They've sent me 5 of these kits so far. I think they're really cool. I'm happy to talk about them and show them off because they're neat. Oh wow, look at that color change. Happy Toy Tuesday. Thank you so much. Welcome. So yeah, so Snap Ships by PlayMonster. This one, specifically this Trident, is a Target exclusive, at least here in the US. I don't know about overseas or in other countries. So yeah, put these back. Huh. But the reflection on that, the metallic one, it totally changed my color settings. That's interesting. And annoying. So remember a couple weeks ago, I showed off some of these things. Because I'm a big fan of pods. Clearly. I don't even think I can fit all my pods on screen. So these are Halo pods from, there we go, lots and lots of pods. From Mega Blox or Mega Constructs, whatever they're called at the moment. So we have like these relatively cheap basic pods that are just 2 pieces. They do come apart with a little bit of a fight. Not much going on inside. Snap together. They've got, you know, sculpted front. The back is a little bit more plain. They have a base that you could plug into another Mega Blox or Lego piece if you needed to, but they stand up fine on their own. So I've got 3 of those so far. 3 of these Spartan Cryo Pod things. Again, pretty basic, but they're great because they come in different colors. Another attachment point in the back. These were the more deluxe versions. So these have more parts, loading things for guys and weapons inside. It's pretty cool. The Flood version. And then all of these, whatever these guys are. More Spartans, different style Spartans, or are these ODST? I don't know. I think ODST on this one. Is that right? Anyway, but you can see in here too, there are weapon mounts and all sorts of things. Zardoz asks, do you think we'll get to the point where we get 3 3/4 inch Games Workshop figures? Oh boy. I mean, considering all the stuff that we're getting now is stuff that like nobody ever envisioned. Yes. On the one hand, I really hope so because that's my preferred scale for toys. On one hand, I dread that day because then I'm gonna need to buy a million of them and hunt them all down. But it does seem likely. This one's cool. He's got some red. I mean, that would be really, really cool. They could do so much with, you know, reusing sculpt parts to make, you know, to cut down on cost. I mean, obviously Space Marines are pretty easy with that. But then give us characters and troop builder packs. Yeah. So I bring all these out again because I found my final 2, so I figured let's get these open and then I'll have the whole set. So this is from the metallic series. So again, these are like slightly shiny metallic. Yeah, Zardoz, I would hope if they did them in a 3 3/4 inch scale, that number one, they'd be more realistic, not like Funko and Super 7 kind of reaction style. And then, yeah, hopefully like a bit of a scale to them. Although scale, like we've talked about, scale is tough with toys when you're dealing with characters or vehicles that have lots of different sizes. Basically, you can only do scale so far. Oh, there's a red one. I don't have the red one. Shoot. I think I have everything else, but not the red one. Yes, the Shadowrun, what was it? Shadowrun Duels? Was that it? Something like that? I have a couple of those figures somewhere. And yeah, they were action figure scale. And yeah, and exactly, they were scaled to each other. So there were, like, the troll was huge, and then the dwarf was, you know, small. And they came on these really big bases that you could open up the base and store all the weapons and accessories inside. It was really cool. And there were some really good sculpts in that one. I know, right? The red ones goes faster. Yeah, I don't have the red one. I think I have all. Oh, and I don't have the green one either. What a goofy looking figure with that green one. Interesting. So yeah, so just the pod, which is again is really, it's really why I buy these things. And oh, I guess there's a figure. I don't really care about the figures as much. Put them together. I thought they always just come with a little base. Like, all right, give that to my kid. They actually do give you instructions on how to put these guys together, but if you're not sure how legs and arms work, I don't know if there's much help for you. Yeah, these must not be actual Spartans, right? Because they don't ever have exposed skin, or is that, or am I thinking of something else? I don't know. Not my property. Oh no, maybe they are, because that's a battle rifle, right? I think I know that. I've seen that before. All right, we got a little dude. The suck rifle? Is it no good? I don't know. All right, then we have this one, which is aliens. Covenant? Is that right? I know so little about this property. But this is cool because again, with this line, they had made a bunch of these first, and then expanded to this series that had some of the non-human versions, which was really cool. I was excited about these. ODST are just normal humans, not Spartans. So what is this guy? Is this a Spartan, or is this an ODST or something else? I don't know. ODST, okay. A target. Oh, that's boring. This alien dude comes all built. You don't even have to build him. Well, where's the fun in that? Decent. Yeah, that's what I figured, because they exposed hands. Those don't look very Spartan-like to me. But like I said, I am not the expert on this line at all. Yeah, so this is cool, having an alien pod. Ooh, let's see what the alien pod shows. Yeah, so I definitely have the blue. Oh, there's a red alien pod too. Interesting. I guess there were more. Yeah, so obviously this is one of these is the cheap version. I bet you can tell which one. And by the end, these were, I don't know if they still have any of these around, but these were at Target, and I think they were like $5 a piece. They were just in big boxes that had, you know, a million of these in there. But pretty neat. Now that, so these are all of the ones that I had to open. So now I can set out my whole collection, unless I track down those red ones. Yeah, no, great price for just, you know, I mean, again, these are simple 2-part pieces, but they look decent. There's a little bit of painted details. It's hard to see, or like it's like they just sprayed it with some kind of wash in the metallic mixture. But yeah, I like them. There's one other version that I forgot to bring out last time. So very briefly, I think this was, what company made this? Was it McFarlane? But I think it was McFarlane. Made these itty bitty teeny tiny Halo toys. So these are the figures. As you can see, they're real small. And it was called, I want to say it was Halo Tactics or something. And essentially Halo miniatures, pre-painted, obviously. But yeah, you could use them. You could make huge battle scenes, whatever you want. I have a couple of the vehicles. That was the main thing for me. But I did get, they had packs of these little drop pods. So this one obviously has crashed down to the ground. I don't think it opened. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, it does open. Look at that. Oh. Wow, okay, that's pretty cool. It even has a sculpted, actually like a fully sculpted interior. That's pretty rad. So yeah, so there were 2 versions of this. I think this came in the same pack. I don't know. But anyway, there's this one. And you can see like there's the indentation where it hit the ground so hard. Yeah, and I'm just saying pod. I'm sure there's a specific term for this in the Halo universe, but I don't know it. So there's that one. And then one that has like just been launched with the little antenna dealy. Let's see what this one looks like inside. I assume it's the same thing. Yeah. There we go. TMP. And this says 2012. So a few years ago. And yeah, so I've got a handful of these little guys hanging out, just basically that came with the other things that I wanted. So I don't know if these are specific characters or if these are just generic soldiers. I don't know, but they're neat. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. So I've got my whole collection of pods. I always love pods. Now I just need to move my pods. They clatter real good too. Okay, let's see. What is next? Oh yeah, new Blood Bowl stuff this weekend. I know I don't usually bash toys together, but that's definitely a nice sound. These. So I like to talk about these weird little figures that Marvel did for just a couple of their movies. Not a lot of them. So I thought we could open up a couple more of these. I have a closet full of these stupid things. So they did Guardians of the Galaxy, and then there were Age of Ultron and Civil War. And I like comparing when I have the same character from both of those movies to see if they reused sculpts, if they did all new sculpts, if the toy looked different. Because some of the characters did change between the movies, but not a lot. So for Age of Ultron, each hero comes with an Ultron drone. Well, most of the packs are Avenger plus some sort of Ultron drone in these really goofy designs that you could, if you wanted to, combine to make some sort of hideous Voltron-like structure. I haven't attempted this yet. I have a whole bunch of these drones around. That thing just looks awful. There's probably other ways of building this too that might look better. Yeah, some sort of Megazord or something. And again, usually what it consists of is some kind of vehicle-like structure. And actually, this one's not bad. It's kind of a cool thing. And then just like a torso that you jam on it somewhere. And they have multiple connection points all over, so you could theoretically connect and combine these in any way you wanted. So now it becomes a cool little vehicle with an ugly robot torso attached to the top of it with weapon arms. Because weapon arms are cool. But yeah, on this one, I actually do like this vehicle. So I think I'll actually keep this one. Holes on the bottom so I could configure some sort of a base for it. Again, like with most toys, it actually has a decent sculpt, just very little paint to show off any of those details. So it could definitely be repainted or add some sort of a wash on there that would keep some of that translucency, but, you know, pick out some of the details. Wouldn't want to go too dark, though. Alright. Let's get Rhodey out of here. Yeah, and it just gives a code, basically. So this is Sub Ultron 006. Yeah, my kids get to play with some of my toys. The snap ships that I was showing off, I think I'm gonna officially hand those over to the kids so that they can. I like I said, I love the snap ships. They are really big and bulky, so I don't really have a place to set all of these out in a display. So I think I'm just gonna let the kids play with them. But they are neat. Okay, so here we have what Marvel showed us is Age of Ultron War Machine. Very skinny. Slightly ball jointed head. Arms, legs move. Legs just barely move. And then it's like a glued on whatever cannon this is on his shoulder. Okay. Not, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not super impressive. It's all right. But then the Civil War version got a lot beefier. Yeah, they definitely upgraded this one. Now, bigger, beefier, but do we like it more? That's the question. The over-the-shoulder weapon switched shoulders, which is interesting. They both have a lot of detail. Clearly completely different molds. So they didn't reuse any parts on these. Beefier. Hey, Patty, how's it going? We're looking at War Machine toys from Age of Ultron and then from Civil War. So, got an upgrade in size. I mean, you could almost say an upgrade in scale even. But I don't know. I kind of like the simplicity of the older one. Personal preference, I suppose. Ooh. Although it's cool that they added like the actual, I mean, it's kind of there, but here you can actually see like the arm mounted weapons and stuff. Yeah. Leave those there, get rid of that. And then we have Marvel's Vision versus Winter Soldier. So again, if you ever see something like that where it says Marvel's Vision, it means that there's already a toy out there somewhere called Vision. So they couldn't just put Vision on the box. Otherwise, they could be sued, potentially. It's ridiculous. Legal garbage. Weird. So let's open this one up. And again, when they switched over to the Civil War, they had actually given this line a name called Miniverse, and then they never made any more toys for it. So it's a very short-lived experiment. And this is also, all right, so first of all, let's look at, we've got Bucky himself, the Winter Soldier. Again, for being 2 inches tall, or, you know, approximately, and not having much articulation, I think they did a fairly good job with the sculpts on these. It's you know, it's recognizable who these characters are. We're gonna have to try to guess and figure it out. The paint applications are fairly sparse on most of them, but they get, you know, they get the job done at least. So you know who it is. There's always more sculpted detail than paint. Well, I mean, you know, he did have the mask that was okay. I'm not going to say it's great, but again, if you look real close, there is some detail there. Like the goggles are sculpted separate from just the. Try to get the light right without focus or light. I can do one, but not the other. It looks like. Yeah, again, and because there's no paint application on there, it's really hard to see the detail. But there is some detail on the face. Obviously the metal arm. And because they tried to make this line like cool for kids, it's not just the characters. For some reason, Winter Soldier needs giant, goofy arms with secondary arms with guns on them or something. And a jetpack armor thing. I don't even know what to say about these things. They're so bad. And again, like, was any kid wanting to buy these because of these goofy parts? I wish they had put the money, the money that went into sculpting, molding these awful accessories into just better paint applications. And then I think that would have, you know, probably made more kids and collectors buy these anyway. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, let's give them like additional arms so they can hold more guns. I mean, I don't hate the idea of exoskeleton arms, but it's just like, what's going on here? Yeah, and they're hollow, so like there's big open holes in the back. And you'll probably notice though that there are very few handheld guns in these lines. So yeah, the guns always have to be mounted on something or part of a larger structure because they are for kids, and we don't want kids, you know, having guns. It's that whole weird dichotomy. Okay, so then the star of the show here is Vision. So here we have Civil War Vision. Not bad. The colors are really nice. Nice and vibrant. Let's see if I can get a good shot here. Pretty detailed. There's a... It's not textured, but there's... And again, there's more sculpted detail on the torso and stuff than you can see with the paint. Head has a lot of detail going on it. The cape is really well textured. Again, a wash on that would just bring all of those little details out. And then comparing the Civil War version to the previous Age of Ultron version. Again, big difference. Neither one came with Mjolnir. That would have been interesting. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember if these toys came out like before the movies did. Probably. That's usually what happens. Yeah, although some of these figures have somewhat open hands. They are really small. Like, I mean, you can just see compared to my pinky how tiny these hands are. So yeah, to engineer these hands to be able to hold something, that, yes, true, that would definitely be a challenge. Although you could make something that sort of like attaches onto the arm instead. Yeah. Yeah, on this one, I think I like the Civil War version of Vision more. less going on, but I think the more straightforward costume design works. Again, he's a little bit bigger. I don't remember if all of these got bigger in the toys from the first version, but definitely bigger. And then the capes. Yeah, you can definitely see the details a little bit more on the brighter capes. Oh, Dino Riders. For those of you who may remember Dino Riders, unfortunately, I don't have any of the dinosaurs anymore. Hold on 1 second. So Dino Riders were an incredible, oh my god, just like the coolest toy line ever from the 80s. These big dinosaur toys that you could attach a bunch of weapons and accessories to, and then little figures. And I still have a bunch of Dino Riders figures, including a couple of these alien guys. Very, very sadly, these have bad plastic. Ugh. They're tacky. You can feel the dust on them. But really, really great, really great figures. Here's the main hero who just like, oh my god, the proportions on this toy are they're wild. I don't remember the names of any of these characters. The old man, the old blind wise man who just has no eyes painted in there. The kid who rode on the flying dinosaur. And then they had a bunch. So they had a bunch of dinosaur packs that had one or more figures with them. And then I think it was later on in the series, but they had these smaller packs that were just a figure and then accessories. So this was like some kind of soldier, and he had like a whole, I mean, it was kind of like this kind of stuff, where it was just a bunch of, you know, armor and weapon parts that would attach on. So I think this, I'm pretty sure this was one of those. Yeah, so like I said, this is my full Dino Riders collection. I don't have any of the dinosaurs. I had a whole bunch of them. I did not have the largest ones. A friend of mine had one of those. But Dino Riders are, with a huge caveat, Dino Riders are back. So Mattel has the license for Dino Riders. They haven't done anything with them in ever, pretty much. But they just announced, just a couple of weeks ago, that they're doing an exclusive Dino Riders Returns set through Entertainment Earth. Now, I say caveat because it's not the same. They're not these. These new Dino Riders are essentially, they're like little green army men, which I'm pretty bummed out about, frankly. Let me grab a picture and I can show you. Oh, is this gonna work? No, of course it's a freaking chrome image, so I can't just drag it and pop it into Streamlabs, because why would they make it easy? I hate this new WebP image thing. Has anybody figured out how to like get a workaround on that? Okay, hold on. Let me screen capture it. Open up an image program. I can't be the only one who's bothered by this thing, right? And what is it? Load an image, like, a half a millisecond faster. What's the stats on that? Give me a break. Okay, hold on. Almost there. Yes, flatten my layers. Save as desktop. I suppose I could have just shared the link. That would have been easier. Dino. Close. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. And here we go. Yeah, so again, is it cool that Dino Riders are back? Yes. Is it cool that it's like, you know, you actually get dinosaurs that you can put people on, so they're actually riding the dinos? Yes. Is it a bummer that it's in a completely different format, size, scale, not, you know, nothing to do with the original? Yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer. I have not pre-ordered this. I don't know if I'm going to. It's a neat set. You get a bunch of parts. It's just not the same. I don't know. And yeah, obviously they're just the one color plastic. Yeah, it's $20. And again, you get a lot of stuff for $20. I'm not saying it's a bad deal. I would be more interested if they had actually announced that this was the start of an actual new line, or if this is just going to be a one-off and that's it forever. I don't know, but yeah, this is out there. Dino Riders. How did I even get onto Dino Riders? Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, now I see. Yeah, Zardoz, that's probably what's happening. Let me remove Dino. Go away, Dino. Remove. Yes. I haven't looked lately, but I believe Dino Riders, like the original toys, are pretty expensive on eBay. For what they are, at least. Oh, they're so sticky. They've held up pretty well over the years. No holes in the feet. Ridiculously expensive. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the sealed stuff. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with the proportions on these. It's not like there were other. It's not like every toy looked like this at the time. There were certainly toys that, even on this scale, that had normal human proportions. But this is just wacky. Yeah, the aliens were great with their usually pretty normal humanoid bodies, but just these really interesting heads. And the sort of hammerhead fella. Cool. Alright, so that is our Marvel. I have a couple more of these left to open on another day, but I am running out of this. Ooh, it says, armed with advanced technology and intelligence, Winter Soldier and Vision battle for victory. Pretty generic description. Okay. Cool. All right, what is next? Let's do a Transformer. Haven't opened a Transformer in a while. These over. So, Robots in Disguise it's a name, a title, a phrase that's been used in Transformers many times over the years. Obviously, it's in the original song, Robots in Disguise. There's been a couple of cartoon series called Robots in Disguise. The latest one, where this comes from, was definitely a more kids cartoon that was a few years ago. I don't remember how long ago, but a few years ago. I did not watch it, or I think because Benjamin was a little bit too young for this cartoon when it came out. So a little bit later, we watched a couple of episodes, but not a lot. So I cannot tell you if these characters were even in the show, if they played a big part in the show. I don't know. So these are Combiner Force, Skysledge, Stormhammer. I don't know these characters at all. I know nothing about them, but they're spaceships, and that's cool. And so I bought them. And yeah, I mean, you can see like this one. It looks very much like Jetfire / Skyfire, who frequently looks like a Veritech from Robotech or a Valkyrie from Macross, depending on where you are in the world. And I'm always down for that. Now, in theory, these each transform on their own, or they can combine to... So it's Skysledge and Stormhammer, which combine to be Skyhammer, which is cool, in theory. I found these on sale at Target at one point. I think they recolored these and released them as a Decepticon set. And again, I've talked about that a lot. Every Transformer is made with the intention that the mold will be reused multiple times. It's the only way that Transformers can be cost effective. Now, obviously, these are fairly simple because these are made for kids. Specifically, some Transformers are made for adult collectors and some for children. Oh, yeah, these are definitely kids Transformers. One more. There we go. Oh, so much mess. So much of my life has been devoted to picking up these little ties that come out of toy packages. An inordinate amount of time. Okay. Alright, so we've got two toys. Now again, they're fairly kiddie versions. Not a ton of detail. They almost look like something you might pull out of a Happy Meal. Very simple. I mean, you turn these things over and it's like, oh, look, there's a robot on the bottom. Lots of kibble, as the Transformers people say. It's anything you can see in one mode that belongs to another mode. So in this, pretty much everything is kibble in one way or another. This is Skysledge, definitely the more lacking of the two. This one is much cooler. This is Stormhammer. Looks more like a cool vehicle. There's, again, turn it over. Oh, there's a robot on the bottom. They need a hobby. I mean, look, every fan community has their own weird stuff. Okay, so they crash and combine, so you can insert one. Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. I was not expecting that to happen. Now we're getting some cool features here. So first of all, they transform on their own. Let's do that. So we have feet that go down. Turn it around. Oh, that's neat. The head is hidden inside the chest. The double thing like that. And then it's got little arms that go off to the sides. Okay, well, very simple. Again, like, they didn't even put any details on the robot part. The arms just swing out to the sides. The head gets hidden here. So yeah, not much doing as far as a robot mode for these. And I think the same is going to be true on here. Pop up the head, open the arms, and that's it. Actually, this one has a much cooler robot mode. Decent head on there. Okay, now what I inadvertently. So then, how do they combine? Well, so you see those little arrows and those little clips. Did you see what happened when I did that? Boom! Transforms. Open the legs like that. Okay, well that's kind of a cool gimmick. Hey, MXA Ghost. And then there is articulation here for those arms. All right, well that's not terrible. And because this is the dorsal parts of both of the spaceships, that's where all the paint details are. So you actually do get some colors. Feet fold out. I don't hate it. And again, there's some more articulation here than there was in the little versions. Because of the spring mechanisms in here, like these, you know, these will bounce around a little bit on you. Same with the arms, but that's not bad. It's got a decent size to it. Huh. The head is very reminiscent of sort of modern era, what's his name? Oh man, I can't remember his name now. Just had it in my head. The brain something, brainwave, brain case. What the heck is his name? The really, really smart weapons designer Autobot. Although in the comics you find out he was originally a Decepticon. What? He was a headmaster. Anyway, kind of looks like that. Oh yeah, the back on this looks atrocious because again it's like, all right, well we've got a robot here and we've got a robot here who kind of, and then their heads are somewhere in here. It looks like some sort of horrible experiment gone very, very wrong. But yeah, I can definitely see this being fun for kids. Zoom around little spaceships on their own, smash them together. Yeah, you don't want to don't look at the back. Whatever you do, don't turn that around. Apparently kids never look at the back of things. But again, overall, that's not super terrible. I think that this combined mode works pretty well. And kind of a fun way of activating it too. So yeah. If anything, I wish there was just some front to this. Some way they could have had a piece that flipped back or around. Because it's not the worst thing in the world, but just that front end, like they just gave up. It's like, okay, well, it's just a connector for something else, and there's just nothing doing there. It's a little flimsy with all these springs in it, so I don't know how long this would last if kids were really, really jamming on it. But everything closes up pretty decently. With all the springs, again, it's not going to be as sturdy as a toy that just has, you know, standard plastic connection points, but you know, like I said, it's not bad. I don't know It would be really interesting if they did these in multiple sets that had this basic attachment point, so you could mix and match pants and torsos. One of my favorite Transformers toy lines of the last, oh man, I'm trying, this already is sort of dating how long I've been looking at Transformers, but I think it was the Energon line or the Cybertron line, but it had a lot of, basically most of the standard size Autobots were vehicles that transformed into robots, but then each one could also turn into pants or torsos, and then you could combine and mix and match all of them, which was really neat. Now again, because of the design, some of them worked much better as pants or torsos, and then would look kind of goofy in the other version, but that was cool. And I liked how you could mix and match them to, mix and match colors and things in different ways. So I don't know. I mean, this is called Combiner Force, and I know that there were different ways of combining toys in this line. I don't know if they all had this thing or not. I guess there was an app. You could scan things. Oh, it does say it's compatible with Prime Strong. Okay, well, there you go. Oh, I see. Oh, look at that. Look at this. So here we've got an Optimus Prime and a... What's the name that ends in strong? Anyway, but yeah, so essentially it looks like those work in the same way. You can connect them at the waist so they can mix and match with these. That's neat. Fun for the kids. The only thing is, how am I gonna display these? They're pretty lackluster. I also wish you could combine them without activating the feature, so it could be like a longer spaceship. Oh well. They also have a hexagonal connection point to the top, so you could mount other weapons and things on there. This one obviously didn't come with anything else, but most in the Transformers line, even going back decades, just about every standard sized weapon and accessory has a standard whatever millimeter this is, so you can mix and match stuff across the various lines and robots. I'm surprised at how much I actually like the combined robot mode in this, and I'm actually thinking that I might display them that way. Because while this one is cool, this one is just like, I don't know what I would do with this. It just doesn't look great. I mean, it looks great from here back, but that front, man, that's a rough front end of a toy. Ready, ready, ready. Boom. I dig it. Yeah, I might just put it like this. Cool. Hold on 1 second. Oh my goodness, my emails are piling up. Alright, nothing important. Yeah, they just totally gave up on that. I know, because they did. It was Cybertron, Energon, and there was another one that was sort of like a trilogy. At times, they've lumped different Transformers series and Transformers toy lines into kind of like their own like mini sagas that are separate from the overall Transformers mythos. And yeah, that was another one of those trilogies. I can't remember. That one also had the first giant Unicron planet toy and Cybertron itself, which was really neat. I have both of those somewhere. Sadly, most of my Transformers are still in a box. that one day I will open up and be able to put them all out on display. It just was something that just had to be put off. I couldn't get to everything in the years and years that I've been in this house and haven't gotten to it yet. But one day. Excuse me. I think I'll save it for next time. Oh, excuse me. Water went down the wrong way. But I do have some more of these. Excuse me. Woo. So from Jada Toys, the Nano metal figs. I've opened up these before. Oh my goodness! Wow. Oh yes, it is blue. Oh, I drank too much in it. It hurt me. There we go. Yeah, so the Jada Toys Nano metal figs. I've talked about these before. They are heavy metal figures. The best thing about these is their price point. These were super cheap. They've pretty much discontinued them. They've moved on to... So they were in multi-packs and then a bunch of these single packs. And I love these. These were fantastic. They were $1 a piece for a metal figure. They made 1 million of them. They were at Target around here at least. And then they were available in 5 packs, 10 packs, and 20 packs. And then even as you scaled up, they were still just $1 per figure. So $1, $5, $10, $20. Like I said, like they went pretty deep in the character selections for these lines. I mean, like here you've got movie Aquaman, and they even made like freaking Flashpoint evil Aquaman, which I love. So yeah, I've got a whole bunch of these. They did them in DC, Marvel, and then they blew up into a bunch of crazy licenses. They did Disney, Pixar, Harry Potter, WWE, Street Fighter, other ones I can't remember offhand. But yeah, unfortunately, they stopped doing these as, or what seems to be, they stopped doing them as single packs and these style just multi packs, and instead they're more like little dioramas. So they're doing Transformers, Batman the Animated Series, and then I think like Walking Dead or something weird like that. Oh, they also had Power Rangers at one point. So yeah, but they're more like, so it's a box, a deeper box with like it's like a diorama kind of thing. So the figures are, they're all like posed to be in the diorama to interact with each other, which is fine, but I really like the idea of being able to collect a bunch of individual figures. Jada Toys, who makes these, they're most well known in the vehicle collectors world. So they make a bunch of different scales of die-cast vehicles, a lot of cars. They do a ton of vehicles from pop culture. So they've got a massive collection of basically every car you've ever seen in the Fast and Furious movies, they've done as toys. Some of them come with a little figure, a lot of them don't. They do RC vehicles also. Over the last couple of years, they've started to do little versions of some pop culture things in vehicles. So there are Transformers in itty bitty versions, almost Micro Machine size, a little bit bigger than that, and then a medium scale. So they have Transformers from the Michael Bay movies. I think they did some Bumblebee stuff, and then they've also done some G1 designs. And at Toy Fair, so that I think it's out, or it came out. So there's a 3-pack of these little itty bitty Transformers vehicles. They don't transform or anything, but there was an Optimus Prime, a Bumblebee, and I forget what the third one was. I'm trying to remember, but I don't. Anyway, at Toy Fair, we saw designs for what they want to do to continue that line going forward. And what was very interesting was they had more G1 designs coming, and on that poster there was a G1 Jetfire mock-up. And again, these weren't even prototypes. It was just a poster board with little like placeholder images. But for the Jetfire, it was the Jetfire toy from G1, which, as you all know, the G1 Jetfire toy was the Macross Valkyrie VF1S toy, that whole story. And that was the image they had on there. And I was very keen, and I asked them, like, are you actually going to make essentially a miniature Veritech / Valkyrie in your Transformers line? And the guy had no idea what I was talking about and was like, yeah, that's what we're making. And I said, oh, okay, cool. We'll see if that's what ends up coming out or not. Yeah, Rabbit Wombat. I mean, we'll see. As we all know, Harmony Gold is very keen on suing anyone that does anything that even remotely resembles a Veritech in any way, shape, or form. So the idea that Jada Toys, I mean, they had to have had all of this approved by Hasbro, who owns Transformers. But then, like, to do that design, they would also have to get permission and pay Harmony Gold, and that's not happening. So I don't know. I'm very interested to see where that goes, if at all. It probably just won't ever come out. Yeah, oh my god. If they made a Jetfire in the paint your own from WizKids, that'd be nuts. I think just a few of us here who are in chat right now, we would buy a lot of them. But yes. And yeah, one day I'll do on one of these Toy Tuesdays, I'll really get into all of my Robotech and Macross collection. It's just hard because it's all in a big display case that's behind some stuff. But I will figure it out. Cool. Well, I think that's going to be it for me today. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Like I said, I'll open these, and I have some more of these, too, on a future episode. I'll leave these down near this setup, so I won't forget about them. So we did pods. We did some Marvel figures. Talked about Dino Riders. Did some Transformers. Not a bad result for a Toy Tuesday. Hope everyone has a good rest of the day. I'll be back tomorrow for Warhammer Wednesday. We're going to open up some of the actual new things. Where did I put them? Oh, they're way back there. But yeah, the new stuff that came out this week, or well, Saturday, I'll be opening tomorrow, or at least one of them. We'll see how much I can get through. If you were watching yesterday on Jessica's Dune stream, first of all, always a great time over there. Oh, cool, Airdens, thank you. We had a great stream yesterday. I talked about just a whole bunch of stuff. In theory, next Monday on our next Dune stream, Jessica and I will be doing the Pocky Chip Challenge as an incentive. So we'll see if we get there. We'll see if people are interested in seeing us eat the chips. And then as well, Jessica announced along with me that I will be doing some Saturday Warhammer shows going forward. Don't have the exact schedule on that. I don't know if it's going to be every Saturday or every other. Don't know times yet, but I will be announcing it. So essentially what a Saturday Warhammer stream will do for me is it will be a time for me to talk about like whatever the new releases are for that week. If I have them, then obviously I can show them. I'll go to the store, pick them up, come back and do the stream. So look at some brand new stuff, talk about, what's going on with the lore, with the models, with the game. On some of those days we'll play Warhammer. If Jessica's here, we can do that. Yeah, so something in development, and we'll talk about that more as it gets figured out. Cool. And yes, this Saturday is another reveal day. Rabbit Wombat, are you going to be up to watch it live? So for those of us here toward the West Coast, it is very, very early in the morning because it's morning. Well, I guess it's like mid-morning Brit time. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of Blood Bowl and some other stuff that they've announced. So it should be good. Okay, bringing up my Twitch now. We can, sure, we can raid. We can raid somebody. I haven't raided in a while. I know I should do that. Oh, I want to mute that, please. No, mute. Okay. I'm bad with my raiding. It's again usually like when I'm done, it's because I need to go and take care of my kids, and then I feel bad raiding somebody, but I'm not going to be there and be in their chat. I know that's just my hang up. Okay, hold on. It's just running slowly, but it's about to happen. Again, have a good rest of your day. Hopefully I'll see everybody here tomorrow for Warhammer Wednesday. And let's press this. Come on. All right, go say hi to the people, and I'll see everybody tomorrow. Start raid. Go, 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 go. All right. Bye, everybody.
My children will never have to walk down that path. I make sure that I just want to add, like, I'm